All right, we've arrived at Game 20, the final game of Classic in the Country 11, in what hopefully will have been a sensational slate of games. This one's always a winner because it's always a packed house, because the hometown Lady Hawks of Hiland will be facing Wooster, who's just right up the road here. And it's also a matchup that Wooster won last year in a close contest, so it's not going to be a gimme for Hiland.
No question. It's a great cross-divisional matchup with Wooster and Hiland, and you have to give your hats off to Wooster, where a lot of coaches at that level will only want to play schools in their division, but Wooster just wants competitive games.
Yeah,
and they want great environments. And what better environment than Classic in the Country, in the Reese Center, in the finale of Classic in the Country 11.
It doesn't get much bigger than that. Coach Mike Bowes from Wooster he's got a real good knack of knowing how to coach a game, coach it fundamentally. He's a sound coach, and in Sarah Carney, he's got a kid there that can play. She's an all-around athlete, a nice talent. It's a senior-laden Worcester team. They've got a lot back from last year.
Well, and that proves well because they do have experience. They're not going to get rattled with the student section from Hiland leaning over, and they won't get rattled with the constant substitution pattern of the Hiland coaching staff, which can be quite confusing, especially when you're matching up man.
Right. And Coach Slybod, he's got a suitcase full of kids that he just unloads on teams. And they will run, and I guarantee you they'll try and run Wooster out of the gym. Whether Wooster can keep up with that hectic pace, I don't know. It's going to be tough for them, I think. But, again, they're a fundamentally sound team who has beaten Hiland just as recently as last year. So I think they're fully capable of playing with Hiland.
Well, I think so. I think one of the glaring points of emphasis I think that Hiland has to look at is on the boards, and they're going to have to keep Wooster off the boards here. And Sasha Goings is a bit undersized, but she's so athletic and does a great job down there, along with Mackenzie Miller, who was quite impressive in their opener against Twinsburg.
Yeah, and they'll have to deal with 6-footer Cindy Logie from Wooster, who can bang it inside. So she may present some problems if Wooster tries to go down low.
Exactly, and that's just it's one of those games where Wooster's going to have to make a decision. Pick your poison. That's because they have so many kids that if they try to match up man-wise, the depth at some point will get to them. If they try to go zone, the Hiland kids can really stroke it.
And speaking of really stroking it, from three, Regina Hostetler really had a coming out party last year. She just absolutely lit up the gym in both of their games last year. 10 3-pointers in 2 games. That's pretty close to as good as it gets there. Oh,
there's no question, and Regina's really established herself as one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter in the state, because everything she strokes is pure. I know that she's going to a great school in Cedarville, but she also would have had many other opportunities at some of these university of schools had she chosen that, but she felt like Cedarville was the right fit for her.
Okay, Game 20, Classic in the Country 11, Wooster versus Hiland should wrap up a sensational slate of games.
I think that as we said in our introductory piece, that if you look at players, you look at teams, somehow, some way, I think this is the most players with the best teams that we've had for all 20 games and over and beyond the previous 10 years.
Okay. For Coach Tom Jenkins, I'm Dave Mast for HolmesCountyTicket.com. Thanks for joining us for these 20 games. That's a wrap at Classic in the Country 11.